That will be the east. So we'll be heading up to the west.
So the one in front of us is the east?
Yes.
And we're going up the west?
The west.
And where's the extreme?
The two will be at the end, the far end,
yeah,
that oversees east and west.
Okay. Somewhere over there. All right, here I am at Tabur West. We're going to be hiking up, I think 5 hours up and back round trip. It's going to be a point of no return once we're about halfway up there, because you can't come back down the same way you go up. It's pretty treacherous. It's been raining too, and there's traditionally a lot of landslides around here, mudslides and things like that take out roadways. So it's going to be an interesting challenge. Better get started before all the tourists come. As the mountain goes, it's damper and slicker near the foot of the trail. It is a bit challenging, but this section isn't very long. There are periods of extreme runoff where roots and rocks need to be used in order to continue ascending, but as a rule, these parts are mostly needed because of the moisture in the soil. The further up the mountain the trail goes, the drier and surer the footing gets. It also gets a lot more fun, too. The heavily mixed quartz and karst sediments make for strong, jagged rock where weather, rather than wear, are what shape the notches and divots that create spaces for gripping and stabilizing. Once past the initial climb, it's easy to see the rest of the ridge where the hike takes place, so it has the rare benefit of revealing itself, letting hikers know how far they have to go until the end. This ridge is well worn, jutting up 7 or 8 times along the trail. And from the very first peak, each of the following summits have a great view of a different part of the city to the south, the man-made lake to the north, and the neighboring mountains in other directions. Ha! This is pretty awesome. Oh my God, that view, look at this. Hiking any of these mountains is best done in the morning. Not only will you beat the crowds that frequent this hike, there are plenty of other benefits as well.
If you're lucky enough, you might see a few of the remaining nocturnal animals scurrying to make their way into hiding. The mosquitoes have retreated. The diurnal species are waking up and buzzing around. And probably the best part is that the sunrise over the mountains paints every view with a warm, gold-flecked tint. The heat hasn't yet set in either, so the sun can be enjoyed for several hours, giving you just enough time to complete the hike before the midday sun has started cooking the Southeast Asian peninsula. Today was especially cool, however, because having rained the previous night, our morning was graced with a double rainbow. First turn of the mountain, we got a double rainbow. And here's the coolest part. Stops right on the Petronas Towers. That's pretty intense. That's pretty crazy. Tabur East, Tabur West, and Tabur Extreme are all located around a town called Melawati in the district of Kuala Lumpur known as Klang. Each can be finished before lunchtime, and each offers stunning views of the forest-cloaked reservoir and the surrounding area. The Malay word for hill is bukit, and because it doesn't quite qualify as a large mountain, it's now called gunung for the larger land structures. Don't come here from Friday to Sunday. It's a total waste of time fighting the army of weekend warriors looking for the city's closest outdoor adventures. But any time during the week is great. With less people around, you're more likely to see the infrequent suro, or mountain goat. And these mountains are also home to more than 30 species of frogs and toads, so keep your camera ready. For the flora hunters in the crowd, there are 5 endemic species of plants in this area as well. The Tabur Trio has a dedicated following. The blog that lists the mountain's most recent news, including accident reports, mudslides, and organized hikes, can be found at bukittabur.blogspot.com. This blog is maintained by an avid, twice-weekly hiker and volunteer trail cleaner of these mountains. As far as what to watch out for, there are a wide variety of warnings to heed, from mere annoyances to life-threatening dangers. Mosquitoes and other parasites pale in comparison to the leeches that have been found on these mountains. Leech-proof socks help if you're squeamish about pulling them off yourself, but they really don't do much harm otherwise. Keeping an eye on current and preceding days' weather is also a good idea to determine what kind of footing will be available. Kuala Lumpur, like the rest of Southeast Asia, can receive rain at all times of the day and all year round. But the rainy season is typically later in the year, from September to around February. The most threatening of the mountain's dangers is probably their geology. Being so sheer and containing such a mixture of soils, erosion continues to be a factor in loose footing. And while most injuries are never reported from these hikes, even experienced trekkers have been reported to have slipped to their deaths as recently as March 2013, when 2 medical students fell more than 200 meters over the jagged, unforgiving rock. It's not clear if these incidents were caused by recklessness or by accident, but many climbers have made their way to the edge of the rocks to get a peek over the edge, not realizing that the stone below their feet was not secure. The plant life growing around these rocks sometimes gives the mountain an inaccurate impression of security. And more times than not, it's just best to take your photos from the center of the trail. There are plenty of great views, so that shot that you missed before will undoubtedly appear again. With all the safety concerns, I'll say that once you're up to the crest of the ridge, there's a lot of fun to be had leaping from rock to rock. In some cases, it's the only way through the trail. In others, there are options to take longer, slower detours. But for the most part, so long as your footing looks secure upon investigation, you should be able to add a lot of rock climbing action into this hike.
So check this out. This is a poisonous, right?
Yes.
Is it poisonous? Wow. That feels creepy. That is wild. Get up close on that. That is crazy. It's gonna walk up my head, isn't he? Is he going up?
Yeah.
Oh, is he on my back of my neck? Look at him.
Okay, cool. Like, not so cool.
No more, no closer. There you go, buddy.